Good morning, everybody. Welcome to your Monday morning crafty coffee break. My name is Debbie Polterak from the Stamps and Spokes community. If you're joining me live this morning, say hi. Let me go to my computer and find me. Not yet. Oh, there I am. Okay, it looks like I'm zoomed in pretty good. Okay, this morning, we're going to work with a product that's from our new July online exclusives. This whole little brochure is posted in my group. Featured, it should pop up right at the top with everything that's coming up. I'm going to do some Halloween next time. We did the framed violets before. This is a suite I would like to get. The scarecrow is really cute. So many fun things. But today we're going to work with the Simply Leaves bundle. The bundle comes with the stamp and a punch. You can buy them separately, but when you buy it as a bundle, you save a little bit of money. And if you would like to shop that directly, just scan my QR code here. That'll take you directly to my online store to this particular product. But once you're in the store, feel free to look around and see what else you might like. All right, let's get started. Let me show you some of the things. The punch I used, and then some of this products, stamp sets. In here, we're going to do 4 cards this morning. I also used an embossing folder called Seasonal Cheer, and I used the leaves. Can you see those? Yep, okay, so I use that. So let's get started. Let me move this off to the side because I don't think I need it. I think I have everything punched that I need. We'll start with a simple card first. Morning, Evelyn. I see you found me. By the time you said you couldn't find me, I couldn't tell you where I was. It took me a second for me to show up on my computer too. So here's the first card we're going to make today. I just couldn't resist this little gingham leaf using some gingham DSP. I just thought it was kind of cute. So this is a real simple card. Just some paper and ink, a few little embellishments that I added to it. So we're going to have our card stock is our typical 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4. I'll burnish that. We have a piece of DSP that's 4 by 5 1/4, and then this white piece here is 3 by 4 1/4. Okay. We're going to use a Poppy Parade ink. I think so too, Evelyn. I don't know. I had to refresh my page just to see it on my computer. So my phone said I was live, but I couldn't find me right away. Technology. It's a love-hate relationship. So we're going to take our fun little gingham-looking leaf, and we're just going to stamp in the 4 corners. I always got to look around my camera, so I'm hoping I'm a good aim. I think this is such a fun stamp. Turn it. And one more. Like that. And then we'll stamp the sentiment in the center. I'm grateful for your kindness. This will be a pretty quick, simple card. Looks like I'm a little crooked. That's because I'm trying to look around my camera, but that's okay. And close that. So I'm going to stick my fingers in. So let's go ahead and glue it down. This one's going to be a fast one. And this is a paper from Cute as a Bug. That's the back side. That paper is still available. If it was be something you would like, that was a whole very cute set. That Cute as the Bug. Cute as a Bug. Glue that down. And then I did pop that up on dimensionals just to give it a little more something something. And I'm using pieces from my embellishments because they are sticky too, so they will work. Pretty morning. It's nice that it kind of cooled off. I think it's going to get warmer again today, but it was still nice. Did you have a nice 4th of July, Evelyn? We didn't do much. My dog's so afraid of fireworks that I hate to leave her alone, so we didn't go anywhere, do anything. And then I have some dots here. I'm not sure that these dots are still available, but just use whatever you might have in your stash. These were deer dots, but I wanted these red ones, Poppy Parade. And then we'll take one more and stick it up there. And there we go. There's our first card. Quick and easy. Stamps, ink, and paper. Nothing special other than you would need the bundle, at least the stamp set, to make this particular card. Let's move on to card number 2. I need my twine. Here's the second card we're going to make. It's kind of fallish, I know. Isn't that a fun little font on that? That's so pretty. I used Very Vanilla. Crumb Cake Leaves, Old Olive, and I did use my Stylish Shape dies, and I used the 2 largest ones together so that I could make this frame. Oh, elephant ears, yep. I prefer a funnel cake, but you don't see very many of those around here. This is a piece of Very Vanilla that was 3 by 1 inch, and then I just kind of dovetailed the ends. Once again, I'm using more paper from Cute as a Bug. This is 4 by 5 1/4. This is Very Vanilla cardstock, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. So we can go ahead and glue this piece down to begin with. So yeah, we didn't venture too much this weekend. So we lay this piece down first, and then we'll stamp that in a second. We'll stamp all this. Let's go ahead. And I have a glue bottle with a thin tip that I like to use. There it goes. I want to make sure it was glue was coming out. And just do little dots to try to not be so messy. Because you know how this glue can be sometimes. You get a little overzealous, but you don't really need much. So I'm going to glue this to the center. I just got glue on my fingers. I'm going to pull it down and make sure I'm straight. Looks pretty straight. Okay. Stick that down. Let's do some stamping. Let me close this up. I am going to attempt to tie a bow. We'll see how that goes. We're going to use Early Espresso. We're going to stamp on our leaves. Those little vines. Oh, I gotta find my stamp. Little vines. So we'll stamp those. I don't know if Grand Haven does a parade. I imagine they do. I think I saw something about a parade. There's one. And two, just to give them a little dimension. And then we're going to use, nope, not that one. This one, a little something to say hello. Stamped on here. Still using Early Espresso. Yeah. Oh, that's just, okay. I really like that font on that. And I'm done with the ink, so I'm going to put it away. Now, what I did is I popped these up on dimensionals, and then I tied the bow around the base. I struggled when I was making the card, so we'll see how I go doing it live, but I'll give it my best shot. If you've watched me before, you know that I'm like all thumbs when it comes to a bow. It's too big. I don't want to use that one. Let's use a little one. So this one will go down first. I can peel the backing off. There we go. So we're going to kind of put this one kind of on an angle here. And then because this is already up on dimensionals, I'm only going to put some out. Some on this edge here. I'll just use these little ones since they're out. And then the fireworks. I mean, I do give my dog something to kind of calm her down, but then the boys across the street, we're having a heyday out there. At one point I thought I had her nice and calmed down. And they started again. But, you know, I can't stop people from having fun on 4th of July just because my dog's a sissy. Thought I had some. Well, I'll just keep using these little ones. They're just harder. I like the bigger ones, but I don't have any out at the moment. And then even last night I was hearing some, but I thought I read somewhere they had until yesterday to finish their fireworks. But we're all good now. She's happy. She's behind me chewing on her chew bone. And a deer in my yard last night, and she spotted it before I did and chased it out of the yard. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to attempt to tie a bow. And y'all know how I do with bows. I don't know if they'll ever get around to banning personal fireworks, but that is interesting. Yeah, Maisie just shakes and pants really hard. Okay, I am going to take and put a glue dot on the stem here. Like that. And I'm going to double my twine so I can make like a double bow. So I'm going to tie this around here. Maybe. Okay. When I was making this, I put the glue dot on second. So this time I thought, okay, I'm going to put the glue dot on first. Let me tie this. Oh my goodness, I got it first time. Look at that. That needs to go down in history. I tied it the first time. So there's card number 2. It was kind of a fun little, simple, cute little card. The next one, we're going to get a little more, have a little more fun. This time I used Timid Tiger. And you see I use that embossing folder. Some Timid Tiger ribbon. The ribbon I did about 9 inches. You probably don't need that much, but I wanted to be able to go around the back side of it. So I have a piece of Timid Tiger, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Then I have my piece of white, that's 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to emboss it first, real quick. So what I'm going to do, actually, I think maybe I'll hold off and I'll stamp first so that I know exactly where to do my embossing. So let's go ahead and stamp. And I use the cute little leaf with the polka dots in it. And Timid Tiger ink. And we'll see how good I can do with this. I'm going to stamp in the middle. I'm going to eyeball what the middle is first. Just guess. Stamp that one. And then I'm going to stamp this one next to it. Like that. And the last one over here. Like that. That's not too bad for eyeballing it, if I must say so myself. So then, I'm going to need that, so I won't put that too far. I'm going to take the embossing folder, and I just want to emboss the top edge. So I'm going to position this just across the tip of the flowers. Obviously, you can see I wasn't very straight, but that's okay. And I'm going to run this through my cut and emboss machine real quick. So give me 1 second. Line this up. Put it through. As big as this table is, I never have enough room. Almost done. I have too much stuff on my table. Okay, there we go. And there, just like that, we have an embossed piece. So then I took the ribbon just to kind of soften the edge a little bit, like that. And I'm a fan of glue dots, so I'm gonna stick one in the middle just to kind of hold it in place. Like that. And then I just used a little bit of seal. Over the edge. Like that. Oh, I guess let me pull that. Let me make it a little straighter at least. And still looks pretty cattywampus. All right, let's. Ah, that looks better. Let's go ahead and glue this down because I got that seal makes it sticky everywhere. Which idea, Evelyn? Doing the top, just embossing the top half? And we'll stick that down. And then we're going to use Thinking of You. And of course, I didn't make a piece for that. So let me see what I have in my scraps over here. I think that might be too skinny. Let's see. Oh, that should work. Sometimes it pays to save those little bitty scraps. Yeah, I saw a card similar to that where I just got ink all over my fingers. Where they embossed the top half, and I thought that was a cute idea. All right. Stuck my finger all through there as I opened it. So let's stick this on here. There we go. And then I just took my scissors and just angled the ends like that. Took a couple glue dots. No, I take that back. A couple dimensionals. Oops. These little ones are hard to handle. Like that. All right. And then I just thought it was so plain down here, so I did stick the sentiment through the center of the flowers. And then I used the Sunset Sparkle sequins to embellish. Because they're Timid Tiger. I thought that was the right. And there. There is card number 3. Simple, but cute. Now the last one's a little more involved. Hopefully I cut everything. But this one I thought turned out so pretty. I think this one's my favorite. So I'm using crushed curry, Cajun Craze, and Old Olive. Obviously this is the leaf that I punched out. And this is one of the smaller from the Scallop Blooms. I believe it's this one here that I used for the center. Okay, let's see how I think I got everything. We just got to do some stamping. Oh, and on the edges I took a dauber with the Cajun Craze and just highlighted the edges just to give it a little more color. So we have a piece of basic white, thick basic white, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Then this is our piece of crushed curry, 4 by 5 1/4. I'm not going to glue that down just yet. And then we'll do some stamping. Oh, that one's already done because I was playing. Let's get this over. So we're going to stamp the Old Olive leaves in Old Olive, and the Cajun Craze leaves in Cajun Craze. So let me find my stamp. Here, let me clean this one off real quick. So I need that block. So we're going to use this stamp. We'll start with Old Olive. You have to be careful because this one, the dots aren't very deep, and if you press hard in the pad, you can see how I get the ink. So you just got to press lightly, otherwise you'll get that other color that you don't want in the center. Crushed curry or Cajun Craze, Evelyn? I could have done better on that one, but I'm trying to look around my camera. But that's okay. It'll work. Let me clean this off, and then we're going to stamp the Cajun Craze. Oh, Timid Tiger. Oh, Timid Tiger is one of your favorites. Oh. Yeah, it's a nice orange, isn't it? All right. So now we'll do these in Cajun Craze. You see how it you can't press too hard. Oh, and I didn't press hard enough. Let's see. Oh, you know what? We'll just turn it over. They're not dimensional. They're not directional. So worried about getting that stuff in the center, I'm not pressing hard enough. There you go. Probably if I had my mat under here, it'd be easier, but those are kind of hidden, so. Okay. Oh, I'm going to leave this. Might as well do the thanks while I have the ink open in the center of this. So we're using thanks. Right in the center. Like that. Okay. Now, oh, I guess I'll leave this out. Let's go ahead and do the edges of this. So I just take my dauber, and then I just go along the edges. Kind of keep, I try to turn my dauber a little bit because the whole top of it's got ink on it. It's just a fun way to give a little bit of color. There. I must have ink on me somewhere. That's all right. The leaves will cover that up. Nope, they're all leaves. And they're all put together with glue dots. I actually use these. So I have so many of these left over from my paper pumpkin kits. So what I did, I did like this. So I'm just going to keep doing it that way. You could use regular glue dots. I found I could position these a little bit better. They're a little more tedious than probably a regular glue dot. See, I just kind of put them together like that, and then I stuck another one on top here. Like this. And one more. Oop. Now with the Cajun Craze ones, I found in order to make sure that it fit within my card, I might have to do a little doctoring here, yep. So they need to, I needed to squish them in a little bit more. Or we're probably just going to have to leave this one. Yeah, so you have to, when you do it, I should have pushed my leaves in just a little bit more because they're going to stick off the edge of the card now. Maybe if I guess I could turn it. Okay, I can turn it like that. But when I do these that go underneath, these are the ones that have to come in further. And what I found was easier is just to, if you put them on the back here, they have to come in further. So you'd have to overlap them a little more. You see what I mean? And where'd that last one go? Oh, there it is. So they have to be pushed in far enough so that when you put it on the card, they fit. Okay? So let's go ahead and do those. And I just continued using these little dots because I found they were just easier for me to maneuver. So you just have to push it in really far. Well, I guess it won't stick if you don't take the backing off. Like that. And I just like to kind of check. So that should work. And then we'll do another one. I have so many of these. And then just got to push it in way far. And just keep checking. And then once again, so you kind of can eyeball it like that. That one probably could have come out a little further. Let's see if we can. We're going to leave it because I don't want to tear it. I don't like it. I don't like it, so we're going to carefully pull it apart. There, I like that better. Stick this one here. Let's see. That's why I saved this one for last, because it took a little bit longer. That should work. That'll work. And then how I glued this down, I just put little dabs of glue on the tips. And a little bit in the middle. And somewhat centered it. Press it down. Give it a second to stick. And then I took this and just used another one of these. No, actually, I'm going to use a regular glue dot for this one, just to give it a little more. They're a little more sticky. Center that like that. And then we'll just glue this down on top of the card. And it's a little more tedious, but I think this one was one of my favorites. You'd add some bling to it if you have something that would match. You can always color rhinestones. So let me see if I can do this. So you can see them all. Let's see, give my computer a chance to catch up. And there they are, our 4 cards from today using the Simply Leaves bundle. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. And I hope you have a great day. And I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching.